After testing your page speed with a few of those tools, you'll notice that a common recommendation is for you to be using a CDN. This stands for Content Delivery Network, and there are lots of benefits to using one on your website. A CDN will make copies of your web pages and content, and then distribute them to different servers in strategic locations around the world. When somebody in another country wants to access your site, the data will be sent from the server that's closest to them, instead of having it bounce halfway around the world from the one closest to you. This can really speed up your website for visitors, and there are a bunch of different companies that offer a CDN service. The one I recommend is called Cloudflare, and it's going to be your new secret weapon to help get page speed scores up and increase general performance, but also provide an extra layer of security. When you sign up for just the basic free plan, they'll mirror your content to over 120 data centers around the world and can double the speed of your site. This saves you a lot of bandwidth that will put extra stress on your web host otherwise. It will also keep a lot of bad internet traffic from reaching you and make sure you stay online in the event of a big traffic spike from an attack that's trying to overload your site. By eliminating shifty visitors like this, you'll also be helping your Google scores with better conversion rates, because bots and crawlers that have caused problems for people will be kept out. Cloudflare has saved some really big websites from major cyber attacks, and they use all of that information about current internet threats to help you too. They can also encrypt any public email addresses you have showing so they don't end up on spam lists, and provide hot link protection so other sites can't eat up your bandwidth by linking directly to your images and using them for their own pages. It's also nice to know that if you get popular really fast, Cloudflare will absorb the traffic increase and your site will stay online so you can make the most of it. Nothing is more frustrating than missing opportunities by having your site disabled at a time like that. Even if it's an issue with your hosting company, your site will always stay online because Cloudflare is positioned between them and your visitors. They'll serve up a snapshot copy of your page until the problem is solved and it can go live again. Start by dialing up cloudflare.com in a browser. At the top right of your screen, click Sign Up to make a new account. Fill in your email address, a strong password, and then click Create Account. Now you can type in your domain name and add the site. At this point, Cloudflare will start to do some scans. Just hit the Next button and choose the free plan, then Confirm. The DNS records screen that comes up is probably fine the way it is, so just click on Continue. For this part, we're going to have to change some settings with your web host. So open a new tab in your browser and log into your hosting company's account management panel. This will be different than your cPanel login, but InMotion hosting customers can access it from the first icon in the Preferences section. Any other hosting company will have that in the same place you would go to change your billing information, account details, or register new domain names. We need to change the name servers and point your domain to Cloudflare. With InMotion Hosting, we'll go to the Domains tab and then Manage Domains. On the Domain Management screen, click once on your domain name. Next, choose Point Your Domain from these options. Right now you have a primary and secondary name server that looks something like ns.inmotionhosting.com and ns2.inmotionhosting.com. If you go back to the tab where we started your Cloudflare setup, they should match the current name servers that were detected. We need to replace those with the ones that they give us under Change Name Servers to. Copy and paste both of those into the primary and secondary boxes in your account management panel, then submit. You can now go back to Cloudflare and finish the setup by clicking on Continue. Finally, from the overview page of the dashboard, select Recheck Name Servers. They say it can take up to 24 hours for the update to complete, but most of the time it'll be much faster than that. You'll get an email confirmation when it's ready and should wait until then before continuing. When your site has been added to Cloudflare, it'll appear inside a green bar on the overview screen and the status will be active. Everything is already going to be set up for you pretty well and work perfectly right out of the box, but this row of blue icons along the top will take you to the other control panels. When I started to use Cloudflare, I spent a lot of time turning things on and off, then checking if my page speed went up. In the end, I found that the defaults they suggested always worked best. If you're not a WordPress user though, click the Speed tab and make sure that Auto Minify is enabled for JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. This will give you a performance boost that might come up as minify suggestions after page speed tests. WordPress users should keep those boxes blank because we'll use a special plugin to take care of that stuff and a few other optimizations in the next video. Most sites will also get another speed boost by scrolling down a bit and switching the rocket loader to automatic. The only other Cloudflare settings you might want to change can be found at the far right in the Scrape Shield section. The email address obfuscation is good to have on so that your public email addresses are encrypted. And you can turn on hot link protection to keep other sites from linking to your images. Once you're connected to Cloudflare, you won't have to log in here very much, but you can always come back and visit the Analytics tab to get some extra web stats. They'll show you how often your site is being protected from threats and exactly how much bandwidth you're saving. Try plugging your site into one of the page speed tests again and see if your scores improved. It should notice that you added a CDN and give you some extra points.